Socks, slippers, stockings. They're all just different breeds of sentient foot clothing notorious for spontaneously disappearing. Believe it or not, socks are actually sentient beings, and they are the natural predators of feet, and have even started a genetic arms race with humans. Naturally not wanting to be eaten, humans would run away from socks, but were not surprisingly unsuccessful, seeing as how they were wearing the socks as they ran away. To combat this, humans developed flip-flops in order to escape from socks without the need for running shoes, which in this dimension are one of the many preferred habitats for socks. Some of the not-so-bright humans didn't catch on, however, and decided to wear socks with their newly developed sandals and flip-flops. Naturally, these weaker humans became a food source for socks, and by analyzing the genetic material that the socks had consumed from their prey, they learned to hide and wait within the sandals and flip-flops of unsuspecting humans. Once the humans stepped into the shoe or other foot accessory where the sock was hiding, the fight was practically over, since the bite force of a sock has roughly the strength of about 3,000 angry cats. In order to combat this, the surviving humans would develop toes in order to make it more difficult for the socks to initially latch on due to the odd shape of the foot, therefore giving the human a higher chance of escape. The socks would in turn evolve into many different subspecies in order to increase their chances of catching humans. Some socks became long socks, which were practically inescapable once fully worn due to their length. Other socks, such as the ankle sock, would become shorter so that they could latch onto the human's foot very quickly. Other socks turned into stockings and became reclusive, only revealing themselves during the holidays. Because of their rarity, the humans lost their natural fear of these socks and became curious, causing them to become easy and unsuspecting prey. Other socks either majored in psychology or were just really in the in-group, because they learned to manipulate the natural trendiness of humans by developing intricate designs and patterns in order to become more desirable to the vain and foolish humans. The humans would wear the socks, thinking that it made them look cool, only to be eaten shortly. The genius of this tactic was later seen when more humans wore the socks regardless of the obvious danger. And since Tide Pods weren't enough, some of the humans even made challenge videos on TikTok of them wearing as many fancy socks as possible, seemingly not knowing that they and their followers would soon be eaten after the video. Now this may seem scary, but none of these sock adaptations have even come close to the newest super weapon of sock mutations, the toe sock. These socks easily surpassed all other breeds of socks and are still unrivaled in their lethality. Unlike other socks which developed their own unique methods for catching humans, these socks would learn to use humans' own genetics against them by fitting tightly in between each individual toe, completely eliminating any chance of escape. With the toe sock, your only chance is to hide and pray it doesn't find you. This would not be the end of humans, regardless of how it looked. You see, the two groups of people with the lowest mortality rate from being eaten by socks were middle-aged men and elementary students doing math homework. These people discovered that socks could be banished to the sacred realm simply by dividing them by 0. Now someone please tell Link that he didn't really have to go into the creepy shadow temple to fight Dead Hand and the Re-Deads after all. Stay in school, kids. It helps you beat evil demon space wizards. Socks have also been weaponized throughout history. The samurai within the ancient Mesopotamian region were known for their incredible brutality and their habit of tying socks to their swords and nunchucks. You aren't taught about such things in school because child protection services within America have deemed such things detrimental to the human mind and too dangerous to be taught to school-aged children. Socks were even weaponized during the Revolutionary War. George Stockington crossed the Delaware River for the sole means of transporting socks to his camp at Valley Forge, where he was conditioning socks to specifically attack the British troops by giving them tea and muffins. Not surprisingly, this ended with the socks escaping and eating roughly 2/3 of the camp's inhabitants. In the Smithsonian, you can actually see the socks that ate George Stockington's leg, causing him to get a peg leg and later on become an infamous pirate. Surviving humans found an ingenious way of defending themselves from socks, however, by becoming part in a symbiotic relationship with toe fungus. Once the humans had kept themselves away from any and all contact with soap and water for a minimum of at least 2 weeks, the fungus would then begin growing between that individual's toes. The smell created would in fact be a strong enough odor to not only repel socks, but to kill 99.98% of socks that came in contact with the foot, thus driving socks to near extinction. Believe it or not, socks actually do have other recreational purposes as well. For starters, they were first tied together by ancient Greeks in order to make a rope that they could put things in. It resembled a kind of expandable rope shelf. This was commonly hung across a kitchen and used to hold furniture, spatulas, and frying pans. The study of socks also gave scientists like Aristotle and Socrates insight into the existence of both the incredible properties of other dimensions, only accessible through the digestive tracts of socks, and their physics-breaking properties, made visible while eating. This was observed by the two scientists as they watched their assistants and coffee boy get swallowed whole by foot accessories that were roughly only 1/20th of their size. Not many people are taught about this, since sock professors have a very short average lifespan due to their high exposure rate to socks. But the important lesson that Aristotle and Socrates learned was to never let their guard down around socks, which they found out the hard way after looking down and noticing that the socks that ate their companions were now surrounding them. Socks have been found throughout history in many other cultures as well. Ancient Chinese monks believed that if a person's zodiac sign was a sock, they had a 50-50 chance of becoming either a serial killer or a K-pop star. Because of this, the Chinese government removed the year of the sock from their calendar in order to prevent another Gangnam Style remake. Because of how soft and comfortable they are, man decided to make man-made socks. Because of this, it is very important to be able to tell the difference between man-made and human eating socks. The most effective way to tell this is to bring lots of friends, just in case it's alive. However, I will now demonstrate another effective way of determining whether a sock is sentient or not. I suspect that this sock is attempting to eat me, so I'll just sock this guy with it, solely for the purpose of finding out. Well, it looks like this sock was alive. Now that we have determined this, we can do what any sane and ethical person would do, and weaponize our foot accessories to destroy our enemies. Now I could keep going on and on about socks forever, but I'm only getting more tired and insane by the minute, so I guess I'll just end the video here. But I just want to remind you to like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, or else the socks that you're wearing will strangle and digest you while you sleep.